My name is Czarek. I work in RedStone for a few years right now, and I would like to talk about switching your career from Web 2 to Web 3 world. So, wait a second, how it will be? Oh, yeah. So yeah, I'm developing for a couple of years commercially, before for like hobby. And I work in the different companies like startups, corporations, and few software houses. And my story is like I was in the Web3, then I switched to Web 2 for a little bit of software house working, and then I switched back to Web3. Mostly because before the COVID, the remote work was really hard to find in Poland here. So yeah, I had to change job because of moving from one city to another. And yeah, and totally around 4 years in the crypto companies, maybe more, I don't know, like hard to count. So I have the thesis, yeah, that which I want to defend, that Web3 is a little bit different than Web 2. Like, from my perspective, it's very different, and I would like to talk about a little bit and what are the main differences. So the first thing I believe it's the most important one is Web3 domain is really complicated. Like when you are working with topics, like in the Web 2 world, you are working with the topics which are really easy to comprehend. Like you are developing, I don't know, reservation system. You are developing, I know I was working on app for ordering food from one of the pizzeria here in Poland. So it's really easy to comprehend. You can use it every day. You think about it every day. You just at the first glance you know how it works. So it's kind of easy to also work on this. Like you just think you can only think about fancy features and things like that and really nice UX. And in the crypto sphere, it's a little bit different because you are working with topics which are hard to find in the real life, like everyday life, maybe not the real everyday life. You don't lend crypto every day, for example. You don't swap crypto every day if you are not degen. So it's really hard to find these things in everyday life. And I believe it's really hard to work on these things when you are not familiar with it. And also there are a lot of distant and different topics. I mean, even here in the conference, you have talks about ZKs, you have talk about L2s, you have talk about infrastructure, you have talk, I don't know, many advanced topics, and they are really distant from one from each other. And it's sometimes hard to comprehend all of these things at once. So just think about you try to cover all the topics. You try to be familiar with all the topics, and it's really hard. Like you don't know what will be hot next year, what you should work on, and when you go to the company and you really don't know on which topic you will be working, it's a little bit like overwhelming, I would say, especially for beginning people. And yeah, and in the end, like you always interact with open database through smart contracts, and you always have to have it on back of your mind that in the end there's transaction to open database. And I saw in many places that especially juniors don't understand it, that they in the end they're just sending the transaction and they don't understand where it goes, how it works, etc., etc. There's still blockchain in the end. Yeah. So does anybody doesn't know what is the smart contract? So I have to talk about. No. Okay, we can go further. Yeah. So what is how to solve it? Like learn. We constantly need to learn. My way to learning is from lectures, especially like just YouTube videos. If I have some topic which I don't understand, I just put it in the YouTube and I try to find good video about it with many views and just try to understand what's going on. But also like articles, podcasts. Many people probably listen to the podcast, I believe. And meetups, conferences, like the best place to learn new things and following the freshest news on what's going on.
I have a question to the slide. You didn't put books. Yeah.
Oh, it's a good point. How, like, do you know many books from Web3 world? Yeah, it's the good question. Like, my colleague, like a few years ago, was writing, I don't know, master or engineering thesis within the Web3 world, and he had a lot of troubles finding books he can put in the, I don't know how it's called in English, but in the Polish you have to always put the sources, yeah, something like that, yeah, and in Poland, professors don't understand that books doesn't exist, like they don't exist. That we need to put some website with articles for the Web3, like so. Yeah, references, exactly.
I made it up, right?
Yeah, I made it up.
And what about courses such as Udemy, etc.?
Yeah, probably at the beginning, okay, but I'm not super fan of that. I don't know. I've done few with, I don't know, AI or something like that, and I don't think that they're okay at the beginning, but later when you try to cover like much advanced topics, I believe they are like, they have really broad knowledge, but not going deep into details. So probably some overall explanation is there, okay. So maybe this one, what I'm doing, but mostly lectures from YouTube. But yeah, books, if you find any, probably some yellow books, white papers, and things. Yellow books to go. Sorry, white paper, yellow paper. Yeah, white paper, yellow paper. Yeah, I've got probably from Ethereum one, but I have never read it. So yeah. And Udemy courses, yeah, also good point. I could put it there. So yeah, you probably need to learn all the time. And what is really important, when you are working as a programmer in Web3 world, you constantly learning new things regarding the programming, like programming. I don't know, you watch some YouTube videos, you try new technologies, etc. And here in Web3, besides doing this, you need to also learn things from Web3 world, mostly financial, because we live mostly in the financial world in Web3, but you have to learn this constantly. And like, it could be, you could feel overwhelmed with all of this. I sometimes feel overwhelmed, like I don't know what's going on, I don't understand what's going on. I try to do my best to be a good programmer, but beside of this, I try to understand what's going on in Web3 world, but it's sometimes hard. So these are two slides from my colleague's lecture. What he thinks we should learn about DeFi. So just see how many things you have to learn just to understand what DeFi is. So wallets, how blockchain works, layer 1 versus layer 2, what's going on in layer 2 world, stable coins, dexes, how to swap one crypto into another, and also impermanent loss, what's going on here, like sequencer, like who knows how sequencer in layer 2 works. So yeah, so a lot of things, just beside the being like good programmer. And also on the second slide, yeah, we've got lending, stable coins, CDP, staking, bridges and oracles. Yeah, we are here, oracles. And yeah, so many things only to understand DeFi. And beside of it, there's infrastructure, how nodes work, how RPC works, things like that. So yeah, a lot of things. So going further, advanced security. So why I think advanced security is really important? Because there are always money involved. in the blockchain. So either you are programming or you are working on financial protocol, or even if you think you are not doing this, there are always money involved somehow. So in the end, user is sending money, funds that needs funds to interact with the protocol, with the blockchain. So even if you think you are working on front-end side, there is still funds involved. And security in the first place, you always have to think about security, especially here, but also, like, imagine the bank, but maybe this one, yeah. Imagine the bank when things are, but bank within which things are changing each month. So because we are really working in the flexible and quickly changing world, so new ideas come up every probably week. New protocols, I would say also new algorithms, new cryptography. And for example, we are constantly working on research, and we are trying to implement new things, but we still have to think about security. So imagine the situation that okay, I would like to implement, I don't know, use new algorithm, use new security thing, but what's going on when there is no audited? There's no one is using it still. So it's really hard to be secure and flexible at the same time. So it's really sometimes hard, but we try to do this. Also, a lot of companies just doesn't give a shit about being flexible. Like they just they created one smart contract and they stick to it for the rest of the life, and that's all. But probably they will be obsolete in, I don't know, 1 year or something like that. Well, not all of them, but some of them. And yeah, and also my first work in the Web3 world, the company was crazy about good code quality. Like we were really PRs were not merged for months, and we were like playing ping pong with comments and things like that. But yeah, all of this only to be secured and to not have bugs from only from the bad code, not putting quality on the first place. So yeah, I think this is from security, and we have new tooling, completely new tooling for interacting with Web3 world. So we've got new languages. Languages are for smart contract development. So Solidity, Viper, probably everybody knows. Substrate for Polkadot, Sway. I don't even know for what? Fuel, yeah, Fuel. And probably more Lua. There is also Lua language. So a lot of new languages. But they are mostly for smart contract development. So if you are not working with smart contracts, you don't have to care about it, but you have to know that there are these languages, and probably we will touch them sooner or later. New toolkits for developers, Hardcat Forge Theme, there are few others, and they are used mostly for interaction with the blockchain. So probably most developers in the Web3 world have to know this, and they will use it very often. But which is maybe more like happy thing, that part of the codes are written in the old languages like JavaScript, TypeScript, Rust, Go, and I mean mostly infrastructure part, mostly I would say UI parts. They're written in the old languages. I don't know how to call it, like some old languages. And I asked my colleagues what they like about working with a free world. So one of answer was a lot of custom work. So there are no like state-of-the-art solutions. There are, but they're like, you don't really have to follow them like constantly. You have to think about new ideas, new things to do, some custom work and things like that. So it's really good when you try to learn new things, and you don't want to like build a dashboard. Okay, I will use this. I'll create this, and probably you will use the same things for 10 times and or things like that. If you are keen to learn new things, it's a good thing. And yeah, next part, UX. Probably there are few lectures here that say that UX is getting better, probably, but it's still not in the best shape. Previously, I wrote there sucks because it was sucking, but now it's getting a little bit better. I was on the lecture talking about new wallet with no funds, something like that, some magic happening, just to make it easier. But I don't know if you've tried to explain to anyone how wallet works or what they have to do in order to just send funds from one place to another, or I don't know, use simple DApp. It's really hard. I don't even try. I don't even try to talk about it with my parents' wife, or no. So I don't really, nowadays I don't really think that we are really close to mass adoption, really mass adoption, that my mother will be using wallet in order to order something. I don't think we are close to it still. But maybe, I don't know, new generation will come and everyone will have wallets after birth or something. But probably all of previous things were bad, so I would like to say a few good things. So, as you probably saw during this conference, everyone is open to talk, share ideas, and grab a beer and talk about anything, technology, not technology. People are really fun and easygoing. So this is really cool. And in many cases, you can talk directly to people who are in leads, C-level, and things like that. Our CEO was standing today on our booth, and you could talk to him without any troubles, and he will answer all your questions. So it's really nice. I liked it, and also we are interacting with many protocols, and always I can talk directly to someone, and always I can. Even on Telegram or Discord, I can talk to people directly. They can answer all my questions. And a lot of code is open sourced. A lot of contracts are open source, not all of them because of the security reasons, but mostly code is open source. And you can take a look. You can always I don't know, make a pull request to them to fix something. We do this quite often. So it's also really good to know that you always can take a look on the code and not just shooting blindly to try to fix something or use something. And also, there are a lot of companies without strict rules. You don't have to wear ties and things like that. So this was also one of my colleagues answered why he likes working here, because no strict rules. And also, one of the answers was he was working in software house, and we have this name in Poland that it is Januszek's, so it means really bad place to work. And he was, in software houses, you are sold to other companies in order to work there. So we are you are sold, you are I don't know how it's called, but and it turns out that he was sold in the places with promise that he knows something he didn't really know. And it was really conflict there because he started working, and clients asked him about the problem, and he said, "I don't know how to do this because I'm not familiar with the topic." And it was really conflict situation, and he said that he preferred to work in the companies with the product where he can work on one thing. So yeah, maybe some questions or anything, maybe you want to know more. Yeah.
About learning.
So you mentioned a few sources for learning. What do you think about learning from Twitter and Discord when transferring into Web3?
If you can find any useful information there, it's okay. Like, but I see my Twitter board or Discord, especially Discord, is like fully with non-useful information. Like many things which are, I don't see how you can use them after. Like, Twitter is really good for, I would say, getting the context what's going on. Like if there is a big conference, in the other side of the world, you can learn what's going on there. You can see what is like hot topic, not hot topic. So I mostly use Twitter for this. So knowing what's going on in the world, but not learning like things. Maybe I will find what I should learn further in more advanced way.
Dan, did I answer your question all right? Yeah. Perfect. So let's get a few more questions in here, guys. Anybody else have a question? Come on, there must be someone. I've got a question. Yeah. Is your team, just speaking out with some of the team there, are you guys attending the hackathon this next couple of days?
Yeah. I will be there more like mentoring, but I know my colleagues are trying to hack something. Oh. I will also talk about a few words about RedStone, but I think like this was more like first part, and this is like the second part. So if you don't have any more questions about the first part, I will go with what the RedStone is, what we do, and things like that. So yeah, so we are really fun team. We have money, etc., and we have nice people who are supporting us. Yeah, and what is important, we do a lot of research and we produce reports, which can be found on our website. And you can learn a few things from our reports, like about stablecoin, LST, LRTs, many things. Like I don't know, 6 or 7 really advanced reports about what's going on. And we are doing oracles. And why do we need oracles? Oracles are delivering data to the apps in order to use them. And mostly this is prices of assets, mainly crypto and mainly ETH. Like ETH is one of the most important. And why do you need why do you need oracles? Also, blockchain is isolated system. You cannot fetch data from the smart contract. You have smart contract, and you cannot fetch data from the smart contract. You need to push data to smart contract. So it's not easy topic, I would say, because blockchain is cannot give you why you cannot fetch data from external world, because you have to always have possibility to calculate whole blockchain from here to the beginning. Like you always need to have this ability to calculate it, and if there was the fetching data from the external world, you probably will fetch another value when you are recalculating whole blockchain. So this is main point why it's isolated system and why you need to push data from somewhere to the blockchain. So we are growing. We have a lot of protocols which uses us, and we are securing almost $4 billion. But maybe more about the technology itself. So standard push oracle implemented by Chainlink, and it works like that we have a lot of sources here, like our sources from which we fetch data about the prices, and then we have node operators which get this data, calculate the proper value with median mostly, but other methods of calculation are possible, and then push it on the blockchain. So they are constantly pushing prices to the chain. And what is important on the chain, each memory slot, for each memory slot you have to pay. So if you are pushing constantly prices, you have to pay a lot of money. for it. And which is not good. And also we need to pay even if you are not using this price. So it's not like I would like to use price right now and I should have it, but the node operators are pushing constantly and paying for it. And after there is a price on the contract, you can use it from any DApp. Yeah, not scalable, and it's hard to. It's even hard to get new prices, like new kind of prices, because not only like implementing it itself is really easy, but whole infrastructure is really costly also. So it's really hard to get new assets. Yeah, and we are pushing, and we come up with different solution a little bit. So we have also, this part is the same, we have nodes, but we don't push prices directly to the chain, but we push it to some middle layer, we call it data distribution layer. And contract itself does not take the price data from another contract, but using like our our software, which fetch data from this data distribution layer and attach price data to the transaction. So when user is going to use some protocol, it's get data from here and attach it to the transaction, which will be later sent to the contract, which means the price itself is used only when it's needed. It's not, there is no place where we push constantly the data. So this is really good solution, I would say. Of course, it produced like middle layer, which is hard, no. Each new component is risky, but we try to manage it. And I was talking a lot about like tooling, languages, and things like that. So imagine this is our whole ecosystem. So we use only Solidity here, like this is place where we use only Solidity. Rest of this is JavaScript and Rust and Go. So if you think that you will go to the Web3 world and you will use Solidity like constantly, it's not really true. Most of the software is written in the different languages. The Solidity is used in a few places only. And it's like really, I would say, final actor of all of this game. So, yeah. And here are some like how use our oracles, but maybe it's not really super important because yeah. So here's our model, and as you can see, there's a lot of JavaScript code from which this is wrapper. You wrap your contract, and you can define which data feeds you want to use. For example, ETH/BTC. And here is like this magic which happens, which fetch the data from this middle layer and attach it to the transaction. So when you interact with the smart contract through some function, the price data will be there. So will be sent, and in the contract here's a part of the contract. You can use this data, price data here, without any troubles. And here's the old system, like push model. So you just take price data from some contract here, and you can use it. So it seems simpler, but it's not really scalable. So this is the main issue here, and we try to solve it with different model. And yeah, so.
Once again, so the right is not your solution?
Okay, good question. So we've got both. So imagine the situation that we invented and implemented this solution, but it turns out that the market needs old model, like old chaining model, because, for example, they have their contract already audited. They don't want to change many things, because you have to, for example, wrap your contract with our contract. So they will need to change their contracts which are already audited, and they don't want to do this. So the only thing they can do, for example, is change this contract from which they will take the price data. So we had to just go with the flow and implement our own version of chaining model in order to to get some clients which without it they will not even try to use us because it's maybe not too much work, but because of the security I said before, they don't want to do many changes. So this is why. And yeah, so we currently have both models, and I would say that this one is used more. So we've got more clients using this old model than new one. That's the life. Sorry. Oh, sorry. Just yeah. So that's all. We are hiring. So yeah, as I said, we have a lot of money and we are hiring people.
That's going to stick with me forever. That should be on the website. Great team, lots of money. Let's get a massive round of applause for Cezary, guys. Cezary, sorry. I'm thinking young Caesar in my head there. So no, absolute pleasure. Thanks for the session.